First of all, I'd like to say thank you for taking your time out to come to this channel. As of yet, I'm still unsure about the future of this channel, and I'm curious to see where it takes me in the future. In terms of content, we will see. I have a few ideas for some videos surrounding Dragon Ball, but I'm also considering doing other non-Dragon Ball related videos in the future, depending on how well this channel does. Now on to the review. Dragon Ball Super Episode 101 was a very interesting filled episode with a lot of action as the Tournament of Power continues into its 5th episode, and it doesn't look like it'll be ending anytime soon. Now on to what was good about this episode, the pros. What I'm really liking about this arc, as it continues every week, is the fact that we get to see Kale and Caulifla interacting with each other and many other characters. They both have very interesting personalities that I like about them, and seeing them on screen fills me with such pleasure. Moving on. This episode did well in showcasing the abilities of all 5 Pride Troopers, and I have to hand it to Toriyama and Toyotaro for coming up with so many interesting designs, as we get to see all 5 of them in action. All 5 Pride Troopers each have unique abilities. You have Casserole, who has these energy sabers, similar to how like Zamasu did back in the Future Trunks arc. And then you have Tupper, who has this unique ability that we've never seen in Dragon Ball before. He can increase and decrease his weight. And you have that little goat guy who's very cute and adorable to see, whose name is Zoire. And he has the power to become like this spinning tornado. And that's really funny because he actually reminded me of like the cartoon characters from Warner Brothers, the Tasmanian Devil. And that was really fun to see. That was very cool. It was such like a comical scene though. And the final two, you have the female Pride Trooper, Coquette or something. I don't know how you spell that or pronounce that. Coquette or Cocotte. And she has these powers to create these dimensions and like trap people in them. So she did that when in the fight with like Kale and Caulifla. Very interesting ability, something that we've also haven't seen before. And then he had the final Pride Trooper, Kettle, who's this green goblin-looking dude who shoots out these weird lightning, electricity energy balls kind of things. And the Pride Troopers, they're a very interesting bunch of individuals. And seeing them in this episode made me laugh as to how goofy these are with all of their weird moves and poses. To those who don't know, the Pride Troopers are a parody of superheroes like Super Sentai and Power Rangers in general. And Toriyama is known for these gags since he's done them many times before, like with Great Saiyaman, to make fun out of the superhero genre. Continuing further with this episode actually had some realistic tension in it and presented danger towards other characters than Goku. For a while now, Super hasn't had much tension, and from what I can remember, episode 99 felt like it had tension with Krillin and Android 18, especially the fight between like Majora and Shosa. This is what episode 101 did well with, by putting Kale and Caulifla in danger against the Pride Troopers. Furthermore, Kale actually got some really good character development in this episode, and I'm finally glad that she's not a carbon copy of Broly. Thank God for that. I'm impressed, Toen Toriyama. Well done. Round of applause. And she was able to finally control her powers. She can now go regular Super Saiyan all on her own without going berserk. When I saw that, guys, I was actually marking out. I couldn't believe that she could do that. I assumed that when those scans came out back in February of Kale in like a regular Super Saiyan state, I was sure that they altered her design. I'm glad they didn't, because Kale looks absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie, if I was in the Dragon Ball universe, I would definitely date her. Also, whoever's been writing these episodes did actually a phenomenal job at nailing the relationship between Kale and Caulifla. And seeing these two together in this episode made me actually feel something for once in Super. It's been ages since I've felt warm and fuzzy inside. And this is the kind of stuff that I like seeing in Dragon Ball. And it's not just about the fights. It's these moments that make the characters feel real, like they have a sense of human personality. And that's another reason I like Dragon Ball Super in particular, especially when it does these kind of moments. Also, Master Roshi and Tien got some spotlight in this episode. You had Master Roshi, who used that lightning surprise attack to hold one of the Universe 3 guys, the Preacher, the cell-looking dude. And then you had Tien, who's also one of my favorite characters, a very underrated character. And you got to see him shine, and he fired his Kikoho technique, the tri-beam attack. And that was really nice to see as well. Seeing them involved in the story without having Goku and Vegeta all the time, seeing them involved in the story without having Goku and Vegeta all the time makes the series feel more refreshing and revitalizing, which is good. I also like the interaction between Frieza and Vegeta, and they had a really funny moment in this episode where Vegeta was upset at the fact that Frieza stole his opponent away from him, and Frieza was like, responds back by saying, "First come, first serve, Vegeta." And he completely foddered Universe 10's leader, Murichem, who was assumed to be the strongest on their team because he was the leader of that team. And Frieza is a beast and a complete savage. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the Tournament of Power. And it seems like Frieza has this weird fetish for bald people that look a lot like Krillin. And judging by how many members they have left, I don't think so. Universe 10 will be sticking around for too long since they're down to only like 4 members now. Even 18 had their moments to shine in this episode, since she eliminated 2 people in the same way by tossing 2 of the Pride Troopers out of the arena. So she's getting some nice on-screen time, and that's really nice to see. I hope they focus more on more of the other Universe 7 members that aren't exactly Goku and Vegeta. So uh, yeah. And now onto the cons of this episode. The things that I particularly didn't like was the cliffhanger from last week's episode leading up to this episode was pointless because we already knew they weren't going to fight anyway. And so I thought that scene was really unnecessary anyway. What I also didn't like about the episode was how the 5 Pride Troopers became fodder so easily. I expected more from them, considering they were hyped up to be the strongest of their universe, and it turns out they were a complete joke in the end. They should have made them more stronger to challenge the rest of Team Universe 7. What irritates me is the fact there was no sense of tension in the fight between Tupper and Zoro versus Goku. It was completely artificial and pointless in the sense that Goku was holding back and fighting in his base form. He could have gotten out of Tupper's hold very easily if he transformed. Yet 18 managed it with ease to lift him up off of her. So how does that make any sense? All they're doing is underpowering Goku, so it looks like the Pride Troopers are actually that stronger, when in hindsight they should have made them that much stronger. Or have all of them gang up against Goku and give him no chance whatsoever to counter back, or use their abilities in sync to strategically beat Goku. They could have also had the Pride Troopers go after the others, such as Roshi, Tien, Piccolo, for instance, to create that sense of tension and put the characters in danger, since they're a lot more weaker than Goku and Vegeta. And this would also be a good way of giving them more on-screen time and presenting an actual challenge to the Z fighters. And my final point to you guys is that I found this episode to be a little rushed. And what I mean by that, I felt this episode could have been split into 2 episodes than 1, due to the fact that characters didn't feel like they were in danger for too long. And it would have been better if there was additional attention and suspense. That way you could get more from the characters. But that's just my personal nitpick. Now, the verdict. Overall, it's a solid episode that contains plenty of action, mixing with mild moments of comedy here and there, with the Pride Troopers, providing enough tension to keep you on the edge of your seats, as well as some heartwarming moments between Kale and Caulifla. And they have been growing on me, and they have, I'm really feeling their bond, and I'm really liking them seeing. I really like seeing them on screen and interacting and that again. However, I do feel this episode was underrated and undersold the Pride Troopers, and I didn't like the fact they were a bunch of jobbers. It gets irritable at times when Goku keeps letting his guard down again and again and again and again and holding back, just so the writers can play some artificial tension that's completely pointless. And this is something that needs to change in the future. Excuse me, in the future of Dragon Ball Super. But it does well in giving the characters a chance in the spotlight, making the episode feel refreshing, having realistic tension presented that feels like characters are in danger. On the butter melting scale, which is my own method of how I rate things, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. Now, next week, I'm really excited and I can't wait to see the next episode because it's going to be featuring the Magical Girls of Universe 2. I love Brienne. I think she's hilarious and beautiful when she's not transformed. And judging by the preview, it seems they're giving Universe 7 a hard time. And it's only going to get crazier from here on out since they can have like all these stronger fighters now. And if you did enjoy my review, please feel free to like, rate, subscribe, and share. Click the notification icon to hear more from me in the future. Comment down below and tell me what you liked or disliked about this episode or about anything in general. I'll drop my Facebook, Twitter account, and email below in the description if you want to get in touch with me. And I look forward to seeing you sometime next week. Bye, guys.